Pepper has the most delicious name of pepper. It's just such, it's so interesting. And okay, tell us what you have to say.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Raymond. I'm Pastor Pepper, and I preach to people about the power of knowing their purpose and the peace that they will get when they achieve it. And after going through some trying times myself, specifically in my first marriage, I realized that I stayed in it too long. And one day I said to myself, you know what? I'm married, but I feel like I'm single. And as a result of being a minister as well as an educator, I have encountered ministering to a number of people in the same situation. So after meeting you, I have gone back in time to revisit some areas that also became cathartic for me. And I wrote the book on I'm married, but I feel like I'm single. And it is the book on 5 ways to successfully navigate through a painful divorce.
Wow. Now, do you think there is a market for that book? I'll tell you, the most painful experience I've ever had is one of my is my divorce. It's the most powerful. It was so intensely painful that I begged her lawyer to end it. I begged her lawyer. I said, I'll sign anything, and he just kept suing me. I turned to my lawyer and I said, I've given up. Why is he still talking? Right. And my lawyer said, just because you say you've given up doesn't mean the lawsuit's over. He can inflict as much pain as he wishes, because he may not believe that you'll sign the document that he has in his mind. And so he just kept hurting, and it was the most painful experience. If I had an opportunity to read a book written by a minister on 5 ways to navigate more wholesomely through that pain, man, I would have not only bought it, I would have bought her webinar and her course, and I would have, whatever she had, because the pain was just too intense for me. And so a minister writing a book that 50% of married people are going to need, we're not talking about a small market here. Yeah. So tell the title again, because the title is so delicious.
I'm married, but I feel like I'm single. The book on 5 ways to successfully navigate through a painful divorce.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. And so as a result, this year I was an assistant principal for New York City High School. I had been an educator for a number of years, and I too recently walked away. I didn't retire, I just had enough. No child left behind, all of that. The politics, I really am about educating people and young people specifically. I'm a certified teacher, school counselor, and administrator for the state of New York. And I sacrificed all of that to basically put all of my chips into this entire process to focus. And so upon meeting you in Las Vegas at another event, I signed up thanks to Mike Vega and to Jennifer, who sat me down and said, you definitely need to be in 10-10-10. And upon listening to her, I signed up. I stole my husband's credit card, my new husband. And I'm like, oh God, I hope that's not a part 2 of the book, but anyway. And I gave it to Jen and I said, you just charge it and I'll soft soap Sydney later. And I got into the program and I started writing that night while he was asleep. That was July 15th of this year. I finished the book on September 11th, the day before coming here.
Whoa. Oh.
And so why that is significant is because, as I'm sure you figured out by now, I am remarried to a wonderful man, Bonay-Martin, who is a retired New York City firefighter who was a rescue worker at the Trade Center. And he had a really rough time, which is why he's not here with me now. And that day, this was only the 2nd year that he had been in the country since the event happened. After 9/11, he went through his divorce at the same time as 9/11 from his first wife. And so for every anniversary, he deliberately traveled out of the country. But since marrying me, he's been here he was here last year for the 10th anniversary and this year. So it's been very, very difficult. I sat him down and I said, honey, look, I finished the book on 9/11. And I ended with a wonderful tribute to my second husband. And he just cried, and I had to share that. Thank you. Thank you. He sent, I don't know if you got it, but he blogged on your site, and he said to say hi to Karen Aaron. And as a result, he then sent out an email blast telling everyone that I'm at this author's boot camp and saying that his wife's book has been published and she's now meeting with Mr. Raymond Aaron and Dr. John Gray to discuss further details. He sends me a text. This is why I came an hour late today, because he had me on the phone this morning. He said, make sure you tell Raymond this. Pepper, not only did I yesterday, he got an email response, I got 45 pre-orders, and my book is just in draft form of people that want to buy the book. And I already told you and Paula that I'm going to speak in Virginia on the 28th. I got 2 more speaking engagements this morning.
Hold on, today?
Today.
Today is the 15th of September.
Yes.
Your book was finished on the 11th of September.
Right.
Your book is like 3 days old now.
Exactly. I don't even have a cover. The draft is done.
And you've got speaking gigs already.
2 this morning from an email blast that Sydney sent.
And you got 45 pre-orders
Yes.
from a mention on a blog post.
That's right.
You probably got some orders here.
Probably. So, and then I was up all night working on my second book.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I got the title and everything.
What's your title?
Well, I was a special educator and an assistant principal of special education, and my heart, I'm very compassionate to that population. So my second book is going to be about my career as an educator. And it is, I crossed my I's and dot my T's and realized I needed an IEP. Now, for those of you who may know anything about special education, an IEP is a working document that we are mandated to write, and it stands for an Individualized Educational Plan. And the subtitle would be, again, the 5 ways on writing a quality quality IEP. So my target audience would obviously be school officials
who know what IEP
stands for,
Right, perfect.
And teachers, and with all of the compliance mandates under the federal law
Right.
of No Child Left Behind, it is definitely a need, and that's one of the things that schools are losing substantial amounts of money, specifically for a population that's the neediest, because people are not proficient in writing quality IEPs.
But also, your husband needs to write his book
Yes.
on what it was like to be inside 9/11,
Yes.
what it was like to be going through a horrible divorce and have several of your best friends die right in front of you on the day when you're trying to save other people's lives.
That's right. And
He's
his
gotta
wife
write.
wasn't there for him. And so his book is Who Rescues the Rescuer?
Ooh. Oh. Oh. I think you just got some orders for that book.
So I guess it's going to be a Sydney and Pepper Martin eventually. And we just want to, from the bottom of our hearts, you have no idea what, even just to get here, it's been a tremendous, tremendous sacrifice when you walk away from a career midway like I did, and to have him to step up to support me in this process. It's been strenuous, but we believe in this, and we want to thank you. I'm so glad that you got off that park bench. And I just want to thank you for your entire experience, and we are working hard to make it worth your while.
Oh, wow. We make sure Sydney writes that book.